and really be trying to plan it out, it don't work like that. But when you just randomly having conversations outside or whatever is when it hit different. Like, bro, I wish I would have said that on camera.
Yeah. I just want to get to a point one day where when we start, I can see the comments and we can interact.
That's what I'm saying. That's that going live. Like not pre-recorded, going live. That's how that is.
Yeah, or maybe like consider changing like the not the flow, but like the instead of picking questions to like kind of just start
We
off
just go.
with a conversation
Random.
and then somebody hit record as the conversation's going and then you can incorporate. I think like the questions are good maybe for days that nobody has nothing to say. versus,
True. I like that.
Like just having, you know what I mean?
Yep. So ain't nobody got nothing to say, then we'll go to the topic.
Yeah, and then
That's
probably, and even then with the topics, maybe start having the conversation before you hit record. That way,
True.
conversations are
It'll flow.
flowing.
Yep, it's already
and then
flowing.
you can pick up in the recording, or start recording it as you're talking about it, and then just snip it to what you need it snipped to.
Yep.
Agree with that too?
For sure.
Great. Capture sound. So there's second.
Geez, man, that's about to take over my whole tab.
You want it keep does it see it over there? Window?
Yeah, and then eliminate you.
No, that's what I'm saying, but like I move over there.
Then that'll you can't sit it right next to that.
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna
Sit
capture.
it right there in the front. See it again.
Do it got everybody?
No, I don't see something.
Oh,
If we go this route, you see right here, and then that'll get everybody.
I got everybody.
Well, Stan will probably have to lean in every time. Maybe.
What if I turn this sideways? But live.
Then it go wide on the what you call it? So and we tried to do that the last time. And then
Oh,
go.
wait, can we move them to the side? This way,
Mhm.
just a little feng shui-ish.
Mhm.
And then just look with that, Sean.
Boom. I got everybody.
Yeah.
You see yourself in the phone?
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not looking at phone. I'm sorry. No, I don't see us. I don't see me in the phone. If I sit right here, yeah, you got to sit right here. But we gonna cram.
If I move it, let me see. I'll just move it. Y'all tell me. If I move it here? No, right here is the best.
Yeah, that would be it. Two right there.
Yeah, that works.
All right. What episode is this?
7.
You know what's crazy too? This thing is supposed to rotate based on like who moving or talking.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't that.
We'll figure it out.
No, this phone about to die quick. I ain't very much talking.
Take myself with
It's episode 6.
7.
So,
Ew, that's enough for still on me. Oh, what is sticky on my arm?
if you want a towel, it's towels in that thing over there.
It's like glue.
Oh, yo, what up, bro? It's been a minute. I forgot we still late to watching the whole setup.
Oh, for real?
Yep. Polo Mr. Sapphire. What's up, man?
Anything right there.
That one right there. That one right there. Good. This one's going. This one 15. 15%. This one might die. Who had the phone that almost died when it railed for the whole hour? That was yours? Oh, I got that swag. Man. Yeah, we can start whenever because started a lot.
Then meanwhile, we were already like,
Right.
We did 2 hours.
Well, yeah, that was crazy.
It's like, oh.
That was crazy.
All right.
That's almost the same.
Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right. Welcome to Tough Skin, episode number 7. Y'all can introduce yourselves.
Just call me Monty. What's up, gang?
hi, I'm Samantha.
Kurt, C-Mail, however you know me. We rocking. So, let's talk about, we just at the end of our weekends, right? So
Pretty much.
y'all want to, give a little update on your weekends, how everything went as we get ready to go back into the week.
We a week off?
A week off.
We a week off? Or 2 weeks?
Nah, we missed a week.
Just a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I had a cool week. Nothing really crazy, just working, grinding the usual. I just, like I keep saying, man, these podcasts be necessary. That, you know what I mean? Like, I already had an idea, so I started my own personal one, a Monty's World podcast. And I talk about what I do, like dang near every day, and then sports, like Bronny going to the Lakers, which is wild great. Seeing a black man and his son playing in the NBA at the same time, and you hear so many people that's talking against it, like, oh no, that's crazy. I can't believe LeBron had that type of power. He ain't even that good. But then you got to sit back and be like, man, what if your dad did that for you, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's like Father of the Year. To get your son into a place that people don't think he's good enough to get in, and your dad pulled the strings to get you in, man, that's dope. That's the story. Now, if you want to talk about skill set, that's on you. But when you start talking about something that we've never seen before, a father and a son playing in the NBA at the same time, yo, that was crazy. That was a big thing that happened this week. So other than that, man, everything been cool, bro. Anything going on.
And that's pretty dope what you said, because it ties into like one of the things that we were talking about, speaking on today, as far as like economic empowerment and all that stuff. One interesting thing that I saw, related to, the LeBron comment was like a white podcaster was like, if you look at a lot of businesses, it says like Henry and Sons, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wilson and Sons. Mm-hmm. And LeBron is a business. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at him on a personal level, but he's a business. So that's LeBron James and Sons. And he's putting him into the family business. Yeah. And why not use your pool, your economic power, your resources, or whatever? That's what I'm saying. To help build your brand and your business and get your son on. Now, if he was super trash, that's different. That's a different issue. But, he's the son of one of the best basketball players that ever lived. Yeah. His skills are going to develop. And then on the flip side, if you look at it, MJ was the man. He can play with his arguably the king. And he ain't put his sons on. His sons was horrible. You know what I'm saying? So that's something, to the situation, man. But I think we'll get into it. As far as me and my weekend, for barbers, man, our weekend started on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So they don't start on Friday? No, I don't work on Saturday. Mm. You know what I'm saying? My weekend starts Saturday when I get off. Because Friday, you can't do nothing. That's true. Man, I go out and do something Friday. I don't care if I'm just out late. I don't care if I'm talking about party. I'm talking about like y'all be picking up business while on Friday. My fault. Yeah, man, we in here full steam on Friday. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday, we working. And then most shops are usually closed on Monday. So Sunday and Monday is really like, our Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. So it's a little weird. So it'd be, it can throw you off a little bit. I've been doing it for years. But today is probably like one of the main days of my weekend. Let me see what I can get into, man. Everything else has been cool so far. Had a dope day yesterday. Just like super busy. Yeah. So everything just be like going real fast. You know what I'm saying? What about you, Sam?
I be chilling. I just be just chilling. Even that, like what do you do? I be chilling.
Yeah.
I think my Friday, what's today, Sunday?
Yep.
I think I was just like relaxing on Friday a little bit.
Yeah.
I do so much running around during the week,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like my mom being sick and stuff, I'm every day double dutying.
Mhm.
So by the time I hit Friday, I'm just like, I'm
I'm
gonna go sleep.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then yesterday, I think I pretty much laid around for the most part until we went to the pool party
Mhm.
for my cousin's 40th birthday,
Yeah.
and that wasn't until nighttime. So
Mhm.
just relaxed, pretty
Yeah.
much chill.
Yeah.
The kids do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to get to the age, man. I don't know if it's an age or just a vibe, but I really don't be like super pressed to go out. I'll be more like, let me get off work, let me get some wings, a good show.
That's it.
And I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna fall asleep at some point, wake up at 2:30,
Yeah.
go get into bed, get up and do it all over again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like, I
hard.
don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
My outside is in my living room.
Yeah.
The outside right
You
here.
be hating. You don't never go nowhere.
Yeah.
I did. I went from my room to the living room. I sat on that couch. That was my thing for the week.
Yeah.
That's it. That was my travel.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
only thing that get me mad, and my grandmother used to say this, she'd be like, you just can't sit still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. If I'm inside, I gotta be doing something.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it gotta be active, like movie, cooking, wings, other, companies, something going on that kind of usher you into going to bed. Cause I be hating to work and feel like I work, get off, go to bed, rinse and repeat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I be needing some adultism
Yeah.
in between that. We gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's just watching a movie and crashing out.
Yeah.
Something. Because let's say like Friday I don't do anything and I feel like I wasted a day. Oh, Saturday I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out there. I might be dressed at 8 o'clock in the morning with some shades on.
Like, where we going? Where we going? Where we going?
Rest.
That's
I
it.
don't want to do nothing. I want to get home and just lay there. I think I came home one day this week and went in my, like, I don't think I said hi to anybody. I walked in, I hung up my keys, I went in my room and I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Like that was it. I don't even know what else happened. I don't know if they ate. I don't care. I went to sleep. Like I don't even want to talk to people. I can sleep.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. You do that too?
I do it all the time.
Because I was, this is going to be a little biased. I was starting to think it's like a gender thing. You know what I'm saying? I was starting to think it was a gender thing because, like, let's say that happened, and like I said, you end up by yourself and you bored,
Yeah.
and you go somewhere,
Mhm.
your boys is there too.
Yeah.
So people are doing the same thing, like they at home sleep, and y'all at the bar, like, come on, man.
I'm like, I might even hear that. Yeah. I'm like, I'll pull up to the bar or something to go check on my man because he's the security guard there. 10 minutes in, I'm like, man, why am I even here?
Yeah,
I'm going home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta text you. Like, yo, I'm just checking on you, seeing what was up, bro. I'm going to the crib. And
yeah,
I might not even go to sleep, but just laying on my own couch, watching my own TV and just feel better than just going outside.
yeah. You know what I'm starting to be, real conscious of is, I was at a men's group and we were speaking, and I was thinking of this idea like weeks before I heard this guy say it, and he was basically like, what it seems like is the purpose of a man is to work and die.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, like you just like your existence is trying to build a legacy. And I be feeling like that sometimes. I be so into this. Like I just talked to my mom yesterday, and she was like, "I ain't talked to you in a week." I said, "Why didn't you call me?" She was like, "I figured you was busy." I'm like, "I ain't never too busy for you." You know what I'm saying? But I do see that. Like I be so busy. That's why I hate to get home and get right in the bed and go to sleep because I'm like, I got to do it all over again tomorrow. And it just, you start forgetting the days of the week. You be like, yo, is today Tuesday or Friday? Like, I don't be knowing. And everything is back to back. And you'll never get everything done. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like my internal drive is like to provide. And the other part of it is to, build a legacy. I feel like we talk about economic empowerment.
Yeah.
I feel like if you wasn't born with a silver spoon, you got to go get it. I'm still young enough to make it happen, and I got to build something for my kids to be able to get that push into the future. At the same time, what I'm starting to be more conscious of like I was saying in the beginning, is trying to step out of that stuff a little bit. Take some time for me. I done started some meditation. I meditated last week. It's so funny because I was like, what's like the meditation position? Am I supposed to go like this or so? I'm trying to cross my ankles hurting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then like meditation is crazy. I don't know if I did it the right way. I'm getting like some consulting from some people. I don't know if I did it the right way, but when I first was trying it, of course my kids start moving around. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, y'all ain't never up.
Yeah.
And it's the summer, you know what I'm saying?
So
then I was like, okay,
yeah.
I was like, let them leave. So they left. And then I started it again. And I had to, I guess the mantra part is important because I had to keep saying that so I could like focus on just me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I kept saying that. And I had set a timer for like 30 minutes. And I went just like this, y'all. I was like, I don't know if I fell asleep.
I don't even know.
I don't know if I meditated.
meditated.
It went so quick. I might have been asleep. I might have meditated, but I'm like, if there's something to that, where I can zone out to the point where my only existence right now is just worrying about me and being cool and zoning out. I'm like, I'm with this because it just dismisses everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because when you up, it's just what I gotta do. Checklist. Where I gotta go. What you say? What you ask for? Oh, I gotta call him back. Call him in a week. Ooh, gotta do this. What time is it? Gotta do this. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's always on go. That took me like all of it. So for y'all out there looking into meditation, do it, man. It could be a good thing. I think I've only done it.
How about that? You don't even know. Don't listen to him.
I almost might have did it.
Wait till he confirms he was meditating. Because it really could be the result of a
Yeah, that could have been a dope nap.
That would have been a dope
It went
nap.
so quick. It was like,
It sounds like you fell asleep.
it's possible. I think
It sounds like you wore yourself out a little bit.
But you know what, my fight back against myself, because I said that too. I was like, I think I was asleep. But I was like, how you gonna go to sleep and you just woke up?
Because you had a moment to sit down
Yeah,
in silence.
Yep.
And your body's like, oh, I like this.
People be doing that when they be praying.
yeah,
They be out.
yeah.
Be gone.
I have to let y'all know, man.
Video yourself next time.
Yeah.
See what actually happens.
That's great.
Let's see. What if I videotape myself and I start like,
You was bro, listen,
Get
bro.
it deleted and after. Don't act like it never happened. It's experiment.
For real.
yeah, did y'all ever hear about because you said somebody's experiment and it made me think about it. There's like one black lady out there, I cannot remember her name, but they took her blood in like the 40s or something. And she has like the only cells that can like
I heard about that.
you know what I'm talking about?
I heard about
But
that.
I can't remember. This is so horrible. I'm glad it ain't Black History Month. But I guess her cells are the only cells that they found that can like either grow new cells
Yeah. Yeah.
or something like that.
That was
And her
a
family,
couple months ago.
her family was fighting for I think the rights to get that back.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly what you talking
because
about.
they still have like samples
Yeah.
of her blood and her DNA.
Yeah.
They're using it for like stem cells.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I forget who
Isn't that
told me, but it
crazy?
was like, yeah. Yeah. I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. But that was it wasn't, I don't know if it was viral, but it was everybody was talking about it.
Yeah, I can't remember where I saw it, man. But I'm gonna have to look that up, man. That might be something a good discussion to talk about, or we could just tell people about that.
Is it Henrietta Lacks?
Yep. Yeah. Henrietta Lacks, yeah. They took her. I think this was in the 40s, wasn't it, or the 50s or something like that.
1951.
And they saved it. Yep.
Yeah. Still got this person's blood and DNA, using it for medical research.
Yeah.
And if she's born in 51.
No, that's when it happened.
That's when they took it. Oh. So she would be older now. Because my grandmother was born in like 43, and she would be in her 80s now. So this person probably, she's older, she'd be like 120.
She
100.
In 1954, she was an adult, wasn't
She was 50. No,
She would have been like 75.
yeah, she was
75.
in her 70s or 80s.
Well, no.
Well, not actually born. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely wild.
Oh, her family's never lost it.
But that working all the time. My man was talking to me about this. This is deep right here. This is deep. I'm gonna go in and I'll bring back up. But he was like, "Yo," he brought up like Adam and Eve or something like that. And then he brought up how after Eve and Adam ate the apple, and then the curse was set, and God was saying like, "Yo, you're gonna be tilling the ground until you die," and all of that stuff, whatever, right? He said in his mind, he think, well, I don't know if it's legit or not, but he said he think that when Jesus was on the cross and everything was done and it was finished and everything got started over, that was included. Which means that the chill on the ground and all that stuff, whatever, that's done.
Yeah.
But we still locked into it. That's just all we know. I was like, that's deep.
Yeah.
But that's all we know. We just we get up, we work. But like I said, I've been in a couple of relationships and I was work. And then I came back to the house, they weren't there.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why? All you doing is working. Yeah, forget the
It's a
bills.
real thing.
Yeah, it's like, yo, you keep worrying about the bills and all that stuff because that's how I was brought up. Like, yo, make sure the bills paid and this and this, whatever. So I'm trying to do over that. She like, no, I don't care about the bills. Forget the bills.
Well, not forget them. Ain't nobody got anything on it.
Right.
But I think
Right.
it's like a very hard balance for most people to find where it's like, especially in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because when you're single and you working 90 going north, who cares, right? Nobody cares. But it's like now when you're in a relationship, you gotta find a way to spread your time between work,
The balance.
family, friends,
Yeah.
all these things, right? And I think with like just two people, it's like what is enough work
Yep.
that covers the bills,
Mm-hmm.
but allows me to have time to spend with my significant other,
Mm-hmm.
but also allows me to have the money because that's the part like despite what people say how there's this like, oh, money in a relationship, all people want is money, all girls want is money, and it's like the reality of life is you can't do nothing without money. Relationships realistically are expensive. They cost money. So it's like if you're working a job that's paying you $10 an hour, which no one can survive, right? So if this is what you're working an 80-hour week, you're already in the red because you can't afford life anyway. So now you can't afford life, and you got this girlfriend who's like, we never get to be a couple. The only thing that we experience is life, right? We don't get to just be like a couple and go out and do things because you can't afford it. So then she's like, you work too much because you're working trying to afford it,
Right.
which then still leads you back to now I'm at work, so I still can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's like this terrible rotation.
Yeah.
Like, where's the balance of like enough work versus
And the other person understanding it. Because a lot of them don't even understand it. Like, yeah, well, I mean, but depending on how deep you are in the relationship, or how much you know how much the bills are, and then she know how much you make and things like that. A lot of times that ain't even talked about. So when you out here grinding, doing whatever, she thinking everything is paid off and all that. And he's like, no, I'm not even close. If I go ahead and take you, then when you come back to go and chill, we ain't going to have nothing to watch because the electric is up. You wanted to go eat so bad, like it's different. Yeah, I don't got nobody helping. Since I don't have nobody helping financially, it's just me. You know what I mean? So I mean, sometimes you just have to accept, like, maybe we shouldn't be in this relationship right now. I got to get this situation dealt with, or you got to understand the fact that I'm not going to be available to you to go out and do all of this stuff all the time because financially I can't do it right now.
So how often as men do you feel like you share that with a woman? Like how often do you say to a woman, I make $10 an hour. My bills are $1,100 a month. Like, is that a conversation that men are comfortable with having with women to make them understand the dynamics? Or is it just like I said, there's just an expectation, it's like he got it covered, he's good.
Yeah.
Because that may not be the truth. For some people, it might be the truth.
Yeah.
For some people, it might not be the truth.
Yeah. I think a lot of times guys like this my ex know now, this is what I say all the time. I don't volunteer my services no more. Back in the day, or when in guys in relationships, they like to volunteer things. They see the girl struggling with something, they just pop up and do that. Knowing good and well that they stuff at their own house ain't dealt with, but they'll volunteer because they want to look a certain way to her. So with the guy paying the girl's bill or helping her with gas or with the car and things like that, she's assuming his stuff is already paid for. That's why he's kicking that bread out. So when it comes to that conversation, a lot of times guys don't have that conversation. They'll just take it and be like, all right, well then I'm gonna do whatever, and then I'm just gonna work all night and work this whole double and whatever. She's not understanding why you're working the double because it's not communicated.
I think, and I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying, like biblically or
Mhm.
whatever, as far as money go. I think, follow me real quick, because I'm probably gonna lose myself because I'm pulling from different conversations that I have with people. But I was talking to somebody yesterday about people in power who could manipulate like books and stuff like the Bible, and add a little spin to it, take stuff out, put it in, but God's word is God's word still, right? But they could add that type of spin to it, right? So I think when some people deal with it, and I may not be able to break it down 100% right now, it's things that happen in the Old Testament, things that happen in the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? So I think people be picking and choosing between that,
Yeah.
But I think one thing that God instills in you, like you were saying, you're gonna till the earth and all that stuff, is like an internal drive.
Yeah.
So there's an internal drive, I think, in most men to want to say, yes, I can do that. I'm gonna go get that. I'll take care of that. I'll provide that. I'll protect that.
Yeah.
There's something there naturally, because I think if it wasn't, most of us wouldn't even want or choose to do it if it was an option.
Right.
If I didn't have to, I said a couple times, like, we was going back and forth about something that had to do with like men's responsibilities, women's responsibilities. And I was like, well, if somebody knock on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning, they trying to kick it in, I gotta go down there and get killed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta go out with other people.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That might not be 100%, but I'm just saying that all that to say that kind of like our drive. Now, as far as like the money piece and being in a relationship,
Yeah.
I would say first it depends on who you with, what type of relationship it is, and if you're comfortable sharing that information. You know what I'm saying? It also depends on your maturity too, because I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. When I was in high school, my boys used to call me either Kurt Dollar or CTF, Kurt the Flirt. I used to go to the movies with girls, y'all, and go like this, be like, oh,
I ain't got no money.
I forgot.
And make them pay.
They,
Oh,
They used to
no.
pay for
That's crazy.
I used to really have that mentality.
That's
in
crazy.
high
Oh,
school,
you
bro.
were talking
I
about
used to
Crazy.
really have that mentality
you
in high
were
school.
amongst the women. You was
Yeah, I was like, yo,
Oh, wow.
but I have money though.
But I'm telling you, what you
But
were.
yeah,
You want to have a broke up or just know?
but they just kept going, kept doing it, and my boys, they always used to talk about it. We used to be cracking up,
Oh,
and I thought that was a way of me like exuding some kind of like, you gotta pay for my.
Oh, man.
They
But-
got time.
But coming out of that and growing up, and being in a relationship,
Kind of bad.
you start to, I think you understand, like, I would be so pissed if my daughter brought a dude home like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was 100% me at that time. I don't know what created that, but that's just what it was.
No.
That's what I understood at that point in life as a young man. This is what being a man is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This is how you be a man. Like, you get girls, they take care of you. You play sports, like, come on, I'm like 16, 17. You know what I'm saying? Horrible. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put everything out there, but yeah, it got real. But when you grow up, and you in a relationship, I think the switch comes on. I think first there's a period of becoming independent,
Right.
where you learn how to take care of yourself,
Right.
and then that natural instinct. That's what I'm saying. It got to be natural instinct, because nobody sat down with me and was like, okay, well, this is how you provide, this is how you protect. No, you just around me. This just is what it is. This is how I move.
Yeah.
I got you, like, that type of thing. So
What I learned, I just had like six therapy sessions, which was dope. When I signed up with you, I just did 6 therapy sessions, and I learned as far as inside a relationship, is what we're talking about as far as financially and stuff like that. I mean, the therapist dude kept saying this, and this is stuff that I know, and people already know. It ain't trying to go too biblical or nothing like that, but it be saying like, yo, put God first. And a lot of times when we be overworking, God is just sitting to the side, like, all right, go ahead. You can go ahead and do all that work. But then when you're tired, let me know so I can take over and do what I need to do. So when you're thinking of like yo, we out here grinding, we out here doing this, we out here doing whatever, and you don't have the time. The reason why you don't have the time is because you in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't provide the time that I want to give to my lady or to my kids and stuff like that because I'm on the street working and driving and cutting and doing all of this extra stuff. And God is just like, yo, work for 8 hours and let me take care of the rest. We don't do it because we feel we got to go and macho man it on our own. And that's why a lot of times it don't work like that. And he kept saying that. He kept saying, man, things work when you put God in the situation and you do what you can and let him do the rest. A lot of times we don't do that. Us as men, we just, we're going to do it all. But that's when we go in the house, like she said, put the key on the joint, go and lay down. Because we don't got no time. So now my mindset is I'm only giving the work 8 hours. And I'm like, God, that's my one step. You said you're going to take 2. It's cool. I'm going to go ahead and do my 8. And that's it. And I'm going to enjoy life the rest of the way. I can't keep trying to overwork you. That's the problem. Stuff is in the way.
So I have a question. It's probably like a 2-part question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of feel like this. If we didn't have to work as hard, could we be like closer to God? Because you could spend more time devoting yourself to do other things outside of work. And the other part was I forgot the other part. So do y'all think that work is in the way of pursuing other stuff? For me, I would say like pursuing on some level my relationship with God, because work is so important. You know, it's like the vein of our existence. We gotta work. Or like Sam said, like ain't no bills getting paid. You know, you can't enjoy certain things, and you definitely can't leave nothing behind unless you're one of them people that got a head start.
Yeah. So when you look at the way I would answer that is how we look at relationships. And at the end of the day, like if I don't see my girl for 2-3 days, that's still my girl. I reached out to her and texted her and talked to her. That's still our relationship that we got. So it's up to how you have a relationship with God. A lot of people, they want to go into little prayer closets or do all this. Like I'm talking to God while I'm driving, while I'm Ubering or whatever. That's my personal one-on-one. So I don't really think that work can actually block that because I'm talking to him while I'm at work as well. You know what I mean? Like now we're talking about setting aside a time or something like that, or going to church on Sunday or things like that. That's a whole other situation depending on how you want to look at your relationship and how you want to present it that way. But it's just so many different ways to have a relationship with God. I don't think works a lot.
Yeah.
I think though equally like it can, right? I think that like you said, depending on the relationship, what type of relationship you're trying to have,
Mhm.
right? If the idea is like to service God in this way, to be out and let God work through you in this way. That work can't be done because you are working somewhere else, right?
Yep.
Like so that idea, or like even having the like time to, like you said, you talk to God while you're driving, do that, right?
Yeah.
But right in the Bible somewhere and don't even right. But somewhere it says it's like, basically your time with God is supposed to be quiet. Right? So it's like, yeah, you're doing it when you can do it. And conversation doesn't matter when it's happening, right? But like at a time where you can just focus on the conversation, where you can have the conversation but listen for the words back to you. Because while you're actively moving, you can't really hear what's being said back to you. Because like I tell people often, I'm like, praying for something, but then doing what you was going to do anyway is a waste of it. Right? Like I'm like, God, send me this answer, please. I need this. Send me a whatever. And then you're getting answers, but you're still moving like what
was the reason?
Because you didn't stop long enough to hear it, receive it, and move in what you received.
Right.
You just prayed, but kept moving in a direction you were already moving in anyway. So it's like, do you kind of need time? Well, can it grow your relationship? I think so, absolutely. Realistically, do people have that much faith? I think not. I think people think they have that much faith.
There you go.
But the reality is like, do I as a person have faith that if I say I'm only going to work this 8 hours, God's going to make a way for this light bill to get paid?
Yeah.
In your mind, you're like, yes. But in reality, you're like, no, I got to go to work. God gave me the presence of mind to get up and go to work this morning to pay these bills. So I think that there's like a level of faith that doesn't exist for a lot of people. Myself included. it doesn't exist for a lot of people. I tell people all the time, like, that's where I struggle the most is like having faith in this thing. Like I see people jump off of cliffs all the time and soar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I jump off that cliff, I'm
I
gonna
don't
hit the bottom bar. Like I don't
agree.
have that level of faith yet.
Yeah.
And I may never get it, and that's
That's it.
okay, right? But the reality is, like, I think that people in their minds are like, God got me. Yeah, I mean, because that's what you
In
thought,
their
right?
mind, yeah.
That's what you thought. God got you.
Yeah,
So in
it's a
your
slogan
mind,
now.
you got it.
Everybody's
Exactly.
saying it, yeah.
But it's like the reality is, do you really believe
Yeah.
that you are had, that you are covered, that
Mhm.
you are protected in the ways that maybe you feel like, yes, he protects me from harm.
Yeah.
Cool. But do you feel like he protects you from financial ruin?
Mhm.
Like he protects your children from,
Mhm.
you know, the outward things or the
Yeah.
worldly things that attack them on a daily basis? Like,
Yeah.
do you feel like those things? Because part-time Christian.
Yeah.
Because
Hey.
part of the time I'm a strong believer in
Hey.
God all day, every day. But I am a part-time Christian. I will not ever walk out in the world and be like, I am fully into the, I'm fully in the believer. I'm
Yeah.
fully into, because I know that's not the truth. I
Yeah.
know that I don't know if I walk out in the street right now on the bus, I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to be roadkill. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay on staff.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them to be smart.
So I think, and I agree with what Sam is saying, as far as like what really kind of helped drive me as far as like business stuff was I don't know where we was living at, but I used to drive past the Point like every morning, going to one of my jobs. Maybe it was like some foundation I was working for, but I used to see people out there. They be walking their dogs, they jogging. Meanwhile, I'm like giving people middle finger trying to get to where I'm going. And I'm like, what are they doing different that they can do this? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that really drove me to, you know, want to be my own person in business. And then, like you said, Sam, as far as that, and that took faith, you know, but as far as the relationship with God, in my relationship, in my personal life, relationship with friends, I don't like leftovers. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me your last. Don't like put me at the end of the day all the time. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you done took care of everybody else. Now you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand sometimes, but I really don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Because even if let's say a person is last on my list, depending on how important you aren't last. You know what I'm saying? I just got to do some things to get to you. So I can understand not being able to be first for somebody all the time. They might have to accomplish some things in order to get to you and be like, are you cool? I feel the same with God. I feel like talking to him is cool. I feel like I do it in traffic. You know what I'm saying? I do it when I'm moving. Sometimes I'm praying for stuff. Sometimes I'm asking for stuff. But it's so crazy because we're so involved at work. You can go from talking to God 1 second, somebody cuts you off,
And all of a sudden,
you know what I'm saying? Now
you're okay.
you know what I'm saying? It can change real quick.
Yep.
So I really think there's a value in spending like quality time with God. So that he knows my investment in the relationship, not like he don't know anyway. I guess that's for me. But know that I'm in the relationship, know that I'm trying. We can deal with some stuff. I can put some stuff out there, pray about it. Even reading the Bible sometimes. Sometimes when you fasting or you in deep whatever, some of those words that you read can reveal something to you like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And then this is probably where I defer from what everybody else was saying. I'm going to pray about it, just like in business. Business is business, and it ain't always on the up and up.
Right.
So I'll pray about it, but I also feel like there's work that I got to put in. And it might not necessarily be what I know that God has said to do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't. I don't know. But I'll be like, yo, I should try this. I should do that. I'm still going to pray about it. And I really believe, I think you believe more and more when stuff is tested. You know what I'm saying? When your way doesn't work and you need an answer or need something to happen and you do it and it really didn't have an impact on the situation, but the situation still worked out, you kind of start to be like, okay, it's going to work out. But that still doesn't make me be like, I guess, I don't know if it's what you're saying, but for me, just based off of all of it, it still doesn't make me like sit back and be like, oh,
Yeah, it's like I've always been the person that felt like in believing in God, right,
Yeah.
is one part of it, right? But it's also like God made you who you are, the way that you are for a reason.
Yeah.
He gave you the presence of the mind, the presence of will, for you to utilize those things.
Mhm.
If they weren't intended to be used or given, then he wouldn't have gave it to you personally.
Right.
So it's like the idea of like export and no work is like
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's not how that goes.
Yeah.
Like
I
like
was
you
just
said, like
talking about
you
that
know you're out for it to grow.
That's crazy.
You work for you to have fruit.
That's what I'm
It just doesn't grow.
Yeah.
You don't just put the seeds down and like, oh, we're good. Okay, yes, I'm going after, but not what you think. But like life requires,
Mhm.
and even like to the point of like the economic, like life requires work, right? And then you got to saying like work is just like all the day, all the way around. Yes, but life realistically requires work to some aspect. Whether it is planting and sowing, whether it is nurturing those things that you are now fruitful of, like it requires work. You can't have a garden and don't trim it and don't water it and don't pick off the bad pieces. And that's how life goes. Life is your own garden. That's how it goes. You have to take care of it. You have to water it. You have to replant some things. Everything ain't gonna grow the way it's supposed to. You gotta de-weed it. You gotta do all of the things in life for it. And all of those things are work. They don't
Yeah,
just
so I
happen.
was talking about that before I even got here. It was funny because just piggybacking off what you just said, like to me, prayer is like an action. So if you're sitting here saying, God, I need a job, but you ain't putting in no applications, it don't work.
Right.
You can't just sit back and just be, oh yeah, God is gonna bless me with some money, but you don't even have a bank account to put the money in. Anything like that. So I think when I got in the car and I was driving here, I asked my own self this question. And I was like, when does prayer become begging? That's where the separation from faith happens. Because if you praying about a job and this, and this, but like we said, we're not doing the action by putting in the applications. And then the next day you're praying for the same thing. Then the next day you're praying for, like now you're begging, but you're not doing the action that you said we have the power to do to make it happen. Like, he like, I got the job. You just gotta fill out the application. You fill out the application and then we'll make it happen. But if you're not doing your part, I can't do my part. So now it looks like a begging situation.
Right. Like God is giving you these flyers, like, hey,
Yeah.
right here. Hey, apply here.
Yeah, what we doing?
Apply here. And you're like, I need a job. Like, apply here. What do you want from me? Like, but I always say, like, I equate it to like, it's not a biblical story. It's really not. But I tell people, but it's really not. But like that concept of like, you know, the woman drowning or the woman that was like caught in a flood. And it's like, I asked God to save me. And he sent somebody with a car. And I told that person no. Then he sent somebody with a boat. And I told that person no. And I sent someone with a plane and told that person no. Because God got me. Yeah, he tried 3 times to get you. And you drowned. Because you didn't go, all of kept asking, he kept sending.
And kept
And
saying,
you kept rejecting. So it's like,
no action by my
that's what happened. He actually did try to help 3 times, and 3 times you said no. So now there's nothing left to give you because you're rejecting the thing that you're asking for. So that's that idea of like prayer with no work or prayer with like but you're still determined to do with no faith. You're still determined to do what you want to do. So like at this point, why don't you ask for guidance? You just gonna do what you want to do. You gonna pray and say, should I punch this person in the face? Then still go punch him in the face.
Yeah.
You didn't even wait.
Yeah.
For
And see, and the wait part, that's what I want to piggyback on. Because let's say somebody is missing a limb, right? We at church and they're praying for a miracle for it to happen. It don't happen right then and there. So, but God is like, yo, it's done. So where's your faith at the function like it's already done? If you're not functioning that way, then the next week you're like, well, I still don't have it. Now they praying for you again and again. And it's just like, well, it ain't a begging thing. It's like you ain't got no faith. But you don't believe it. He might not do that until next year. But if your faith is strong, maybe in a month you wake up with your whole arm back. We don't know. But you're not even thinking from that aspect. You just like, and it ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. I'm like, you can't keep praying for the same thing. And that's just with me, I'm just like, why do people do that? They just keep praying for the same stuff.
I think what it starts to turn into is like, I think the word says like pray and don't worry. We miss the worrying part. You know what I'm saying? We still be worrying. So we keep going back with the same prayer because it's not happening quick enough. And what it really is patience. You know what I'm saying? And patience it's something that's, you know, hard to come by. I've gotten better over the years, but I'm still not good with it.
Right.
Some areas, I'm better. You know what I'm saying? I've had to learn how to just wait and not be emotionally whatever within waiting.
Yep.
And you know, the thing that happened when it's, you know, supposed to happen.
When it's supposed to happen.
And that's one of the things that I say often. I just like life delivers things to you when it's supposed to be delivered.
Exactly.
Because the reality is, and whether you want to look at it from like a religious standpoint or not, generally speaking, life delivers things to you when it's supposed to, right? So if you're like, I need to have this new car, right? I need to, my car about to break down, da, da, da.
Yeah.
Life is going to deliver it to you when you're ready to have it.
That car. Right.
Because the reality is, right now, you might need it, but you might not be in a financial position to have the car. You know what I mean? So it's like, it'll get delivered to you when it's supposed. Like, I remember you and I having a conversation, we were up in the shop, and it was just like, I'm setting this date, and I'm just like, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Because anything beyond that, it's going to crumble because it wasn't supposed to happen. Like, the dates will come when they're meant to come.
Yeah.
When you force things is when things don't work out.
Yep.
And I said that even about like relationships too. Just like, you might feel like, I need this kind of woman, I need this kind of woman. I've had all of these failed relationships. And it's like, but do you think about the idea that maybe these failed relationships is preparing you for the relationship you're supposed to be in? You have to learn some things first. You have to be able to cope with some things first. You have to be able to grow up or mature or whatever the things you're learning in those situations to deliver you to the thing that you say that you want, that now biblically that God intended for you. It's like, for you to get there, I have to make sure you're ready. Because hey, listen, he's giving it to you now, it ain't gonna work. You won't mess it up. So you got to work and get there. So you're not ready for that car, or that house, or that company, or that job, or whatever. You're not there yet. So you got to work. You got to do some things first. You got to have some losses, maybe some gains. You got to have some confidence or something first. And I got to take you through some things for you to build those things and get those things. And I guess that's what, like, again, that faith comes in. But you're everybody who live in like a popcorn world. Everybody just wants it right now until they get it to have it right now. It's like, you didn't do any work, which I think kind of circles back to your LeBron thing.
Oh yeah.
Where people feel like he didn't work for this thing, whether he did or he didn't. It's this like there's that debate. Some people feel like he didn't put in the work that he should have had to reward in this way, and then there's people who feel like nepotism at its best, right? And like why not? Like you said, support and help your child get into this phase. You know, whatever. And is it right or wrong? I guess it's who you talk to about it. Debatable, right? Like, who you talk to about it? But it's like that same thing, like, because realistically, like, yes, he has a parent who is in this world, right? He has a parent who has lived and breathed this thing. So that means he also comes in with like maybe a level of security that someone who isn't him comes in with. So that gives him more guidance and how to maneuver it versus someone who doesn't. So there's always that piece of it too. Like, yes, is it nepotism? It's nepotism, sure. But he also is getting that face-to-face, one-on-one, like, listen, you can't do this. You need to do this. This is how you invest your money. This is how you stay on this path. Don't get sucked into that, right? Versus like, you know, another kid who doesn't have that. Right. So I think there's like a lot of pieces of it that make people be like, this isn't fair. And is it not fair? Yes, it's not fair. It's not. But it's nepotism. And if it was me, I would be like, they like, one thing that I will say is like, white people do it all the time. Asian people do it every day. Every other culture, people do it every day. So it's a super big. It is like, oh my God, this black man did this thing. Yeah. Same thing that the Asian man did last week. Same thing that the white man did the week before. Same thing that the hotel. Exactly. Everything. Exactly. All of the things.
So I'm gonna give a little pushback, right? Because we talking about economic power, and I want to know how we get ahead. But before I say that, I was told by Mr. Pace, who used to run a NEED program. I met him like years ago when he was still living, God rest his soul. And he talked about tabletop conversations.
Mm.
He talked about how to shake a man's hand, where you should go in conferences and have your name tagged, so when they shake your hand, they can see it, know who you are. You don't have to repeat your name 2 or 3 times because people forget in the first 30 seconds.
Right.
All that stuff, right? So there are groups of people out here that usually don't look like us,
Right.
that from what they were saying, have conversations at dinner time.
Mhm.
We usually don't. I know we guilty of it. I usually don't sit down and eat dinner with my kids.
Mm-mm.
1 or 2 of them might be with me. We rarely sit down with all of us in one place and eat
Same.
dinner, especially every day of the week. Once again, working,
Mhm.
but to have them type of conversations. Some people don't even know that these conversations are going on.
Mhm.
To be able to sit at a table and say, "Hey, how was your day today? Oh, you know about credit? You know about this? You know about economics? You know about investing?" You having that continuous conversation every day with your family to instill this in your kids at a young age.
Mhm.
And this is why I got pushback with what y'all saying. My son has been with me here every day of the summer since he started playing football,
Mhm.
right? So sometimes he's sweeping, sometimes he's just messing with my stuff,
Mhm.
sometimes he's spraying water trying to see how long his hair hang, sometimes he watching me cut hair, sometimes he talking to the other barbers. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it.
But at some point, and I'm comparing this to Bronny,
Mhm.
at some point, other people out in the world don't see that.
Right.
You know, that my other barbers do, but other people don't see how much time he's spending with his dad,
Right.
how much time my son spends with me.
Mhm.
What I'm telling them in the truck on the way home, do
Mhm.
this, do that.
Right.
Well, LeBron is telling his son.
Mhm.
LeBron's standard in life and how he's putting that on his son.
Mhm.
What I expect of you, what you need to do, that you getting that inside training.
Right.
So if my son just showed up here one day and just took over all 15 of the Eric Barbershops locations spread throughout the country, maybe 30 by the time he get older,
Mhm.
and he just showed up, it ain't like I just gave it to him. Man, you ain't give it to
Right.
the number 2 barber. You should
Oh,
get
yeah.
it. He was supposed to. Dino was supposed to take over,
Mhm.
but Curtis took over and he running it. Same thing with Bronny. He on the inside track. He
Mhm.
getting firsthand information.
You're right.
His dad spends millions of dollars on his body every year,
So you
taking care of himself. He see the work ethic. I'm sure he hooped against him,
Mhm.
hooped against his brother. The games that you don't see,
Mhm.
where his dad probably,
Mhm.
crashing. He on the side bleeding. The mom getting all mad.
Mhm.
And now he's going where he's going.
Mhm.
And who wouldn't, if I own a business and I have to choose between
So,
my best barber, who I love, who has been with me for 30 years, held me down through thick and thin, da 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 da. I have to choose between giving it to them and my son.
I'm giving it to
My son is getting it.
But is your son getting it if he shows that he's not ready to have it? Is your son getting it if he shows that he doesn't have the equipment to sustain it?
Mm.
Yeah,
There's a
I wouldn't
difference,
even consider
right?
it. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So like, I think that's super argument though. It's like
because they don't see
he's
the side
not
you just said.
right. So it's like they're looking at it from a perspective like this young man plays basketball, sure.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
He might be questionably good, depending on who you ask, right?
Mhm.
Cool, great. If it were not his dad, would he have made it
That's
into the
the
NBA?
question.
That is what, so because like when you can stand on your own merit and then it just happens to be
Yeah.
my dad is this person,
Yeah.
that's a different, like what they remember later
Oh,
on,
yeah.
right?
Deep.
Right? So like she had to stand, yes, she was Muhammad Ali's daughter,
Yeah.
right? Cool.
Mhm.
But she still had to stand on her own feet.
Yeah.
It just happened to be I was good and she had that same, and she had that trainer, she had that
Yeah.
impact from her dad, right? She had that same track, but she had to stand on her own 2 feet and prove herself
Yeah.
to be worthy of being in that ring. And it just so happens that she was worthy and your dad was not.
That's true. That's
Right?
true.
And I'm not saying that Bronny is not, or that he ain't gonna kill it, or like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that because he can come out and be the
Yeah.
LeBron of his generation,
Yeah.
right? So it's very possible. But I think people's argument is like, what is he though, right? Like, is he able to stand on his own merit? Like, he didn't come in as a number 1 draft. He didn't come in as a number 2. He came in smooth down the way.
But do y'all think he made it this far? And he like, look, think about Jordan's sons.
That's-
Yeah,
They went to school longer than Ronnie.
you know what I'm saying? And they did all the ropes, all that different stuff. They dad is one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player ever. And they still, I don't know if they got tryouts. They went on them teams that I know of. So there gotta be something there. Not just, I mean, LeBron got pulled. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
He got pulled, but there gotta be something there.
But
That's
it doesn't, because listen, it's like, look at the optics though, right?
Mhm.
So here I am, in the NBA, a multi-billion-dollar entity,
Mhm.
right? You have to like stay with the momentum.
Yeah.
Because for real, it's not to be trash. I'm not saying he is. I don't love his trash.
Once again, college.
I'm saying he could be like super real life trash, right?
Mhm.
But am I, as a multi-billion-dollar company, going to miss the opportunity to have my headline say first Black
That's what
man
I'm saying.
player and his son?
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
realistically, like, let's just be honest. If they felt like he had been married,
Yeah.
he could have been on anything. Why the Lakers?
Yeah.
Why the team with his dad? Like, he could have played in the NBA with his dad on a different team.
Yeah.
Why this team with his dad? Why this year? He could have played next year if he was good. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't that be
So,
dope, though?
listen, I'm not saying it's not good. What I'm saying is that realistically, it is optics. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. So like you said, don't think themselves as going to shine about it. Everybody wants to be like, I was there, I've seen it, I was a part of this decision, I was a part. And he could literally be trash.
Yeah.
The likelihood of him even getting on the court is fun. Like at this point, if he gets on the court,
Like,
it's absolutely just because of optics.
it's
Like,
awful.
there's no way that you're getting picked at that draft. And you're replacing the other 17 people on that bench. You should be sitting on that bench for the first 2 years of your career. Like you're on a warm-up squad. That's what you are.
Don't
Yeah,
you have
this
to
is what I'm
see that?
saying though. Yeah, you gotta see it. You gotta see it. This is what I'm saying. This is like, well, you look at Bronny and you look at LeBron. Favor ain't fair. That's all I'm saying. When we talk about a father and a son, look at the heavenly father and where we at. And why we at. You got this whole shot. There's a whole bunch of people that might cut better than you, but why you got it? Because dad let you get it. It's the same thing, but I'm not saying LeBron is God, but I'm saying when you look at it from that standpoint, you like, yo, favor ain't fair. Like, oh no, he chose you. Now go back to LeBron. I've watched Bronny's workouts. He ain't no slouch. The only problem with him is he's 6 foot. But you got
The 6 foot is being a problem.
yeah, that's a major problem. So when you look at Chris Paul, he's 6 foot, but he's really good at point guard position, one of the best.
Mhm.
Steph Curry, 6'1", best shooter, but he's 6'1". Kyrie, 6'1". That's handle, period. Russell Westbrook, hustle abilities through the roof. Bronny don't have one of those specific things.
Right.
So when you look at him, I'm like, bro, well, what does he do? He don't shoot like that. He don't dribble like that. He can jump, but everybody can jump. Like, what's the difference? The thing it comes down to me personally, when it comes to Bronny, is the fact that favor it just ain't fair, bro.
But I mean, I
It's
think
not
too,
fair.
like, the part that you have to also keep in mind is he is young.
Yeah.
So he has so much time to grow,
Mhm.
right? Like he may not. He's absolutely one. I'm lying. He's absolutely going
Yeah,
to play.
JJ
But then it defeats the purpose of doing it.
Exactly. He's going to
But like he has time to grow. That's just what it is. He's very young. He has time to mature in the sport. He has time to grow in the sport. He has time to find that lane
Yep.
and become good at that lane.
Mhm.
Like Steph didn't come out.
No,
And the great
8, 9
shooter.
years. 8,
You
9
know,
years we
he
figure out
missed
who's
7 million shots. So like
Yeah.
he didn't come out as a great shooter. He just he grew. He found his niche and was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna work on this. Da, da, da. And it's like you said, I'm sure with a parent like LeBron who has the ability to guide you in how to move. And it's not just LeBron, and it's like there's that other aspect, right? You have a parent who plays in the NBA, who has played for years, played on multiple teams at this point, right? He has other teammates who also can help shape you. He's
You've
in
been
different
around everybody.
coaches and different trainers,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So he has a good
core.
support. So yeah, he's not gonna be a slacker.
No.
He's not. I mean,
They ain't gonna let him.
realistically, he's
Yeah.
not gonna be a slacker, but that gives them time also to hone in on whatever skill they need to, figure out that works for him. Because like LeBron is just a
Oh,
brute.
that's what
Makes
I'm saying.
him LeBron. He's
Yep.
just a super large brute.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. The one thing with Bronny and LeBron, like you playing football with your son plays football. So if you and your son playing football, y'all playing football, whatever, you know where the ball goes. You know where your son like it. You know where this. LeBron played basketball with Bronny and Bryce all his life. So they probably know where LeBron wants the ball at. LeBron knows where Bronny can shoot. Like, you don't got a better partner than the person you've been playing with all your life. So that's why I'm like, is LeBron and Bronny gonna be on the court? Absolutely, because they played so many times by themselves. So that's better practice than what you got with Anthony Davis.
You know what I think too? I think it's a risk. Because if you bring your son in too early and he flop,
Oh yeah.
or he gets sat on the bench, or he just get beat to death and they like he trash and get pushed out of the league, you're gonna have to deal with he could have developed for 4 more years and been who he was supposed to be.
That's right.
And one other thing I was gonna say is I feel like the universe always like balances stuff out. And I say that because, and not like I'm God or the universe, but you said something about my son playing football, right?
Yeah.
I know how well he can catch.
Mm-hmm.
I know how fast he can run. I know his fears. I know what he can do, what he can't do, what he need to get better at.
Yeah.
So when I was coaching their team, I was a little harder on him.
Okay.
I used to be pissed off because the other kids going, ah! And I'm like, you could at least listen. You my son. Like, you could at least listen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't be listening either. Or I tell him something, he got a different idea. I tell him, go out there, do this, back up. They about to shoot it. You pick it, run it back. We win. He go do something totally different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say, with the universe balancing itself out and equating it to football, there was other kids who would listen at times. There was other kids who I felt were like in a better position to do something. Or if I told this one kid, I just need you to run full speed straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Don't break no ankles like my son's trying to do. He could have scored. Try to break everybody's ankle. No, I need you to run straight forward on this one because they weak right there. And that kid did it. Believe me, I have told my son plenty of times, come over here and chill. Hey, little bro, go in, run straight that way. You sit right there. You know what I'm saying? And I have to watch myself because I'll be on the sideline trashing them. Like, yo, you hard. Or you know you just got smoked, right? That's the 4th time, bro. What are you doing out? You woke. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and you can't. So that's in background conversations that can happen at home that we don't see and that other kids don't see. Because it's always the thing when you coaching kids, the parents always think you favor your kid. Yeah. And I always try to stay away from that. You know, it just so happened that I ain't bragging. Like you said, favor is favor. Yeah. Curtis was always a lot better than the other kids on the team. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain stuff he can get out there and do. It don't matter where you put him. You know, he gonna get busy. But when he ain't playing to his full potential, and he's admitted that to me before, he kind of plays to the level of his competition. I'm like, you can't get through life like that. Yeah. And then it turns into life lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like he told me one time, I don't have to do all that stuff. Like all I got to do is like basically play to the potential of my team, and I'll get a scholarship somewhere. I was like, oh. Yeah. Nah, because your potential measured up against all these other millions of kids who want that scholarship, and you ain't giving your best, nah, you're going to be on the bench, bro. So.
That's what they said about Shaq. When Kobe used to get on Shaq, like, why are we working out in the summer? He's like, man, I ain't got to do all of that. You know what I'm doing. They can't guard me. I see you in this time. And that's why Kobe was Kobe, and Shaq was Shaq because of his size, but Kobe used to be upset with Shaq because he wasn't practicing something. And all season, he's like, no, I ain't got you. I'm dominant. I already know what I'm doing.
They really didn't have to.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it could have helped him with his shot.
Oh, yeah. They really did. Because
it was just, I mean, and that's the thing I started saying about LeBron. Like, at the end of the day, is he a good player? Sure. But what really works in his favor is he's a big brute. Like, that's it. Who's running through him?
No.
It's like running to a brick wall.
Yeah.
He is big, muscular, he's tall.
Yeah, he's a French train.
Literally a train.
Yeah.
So it's like you gonna run into that and just be done.
And that's why he moves, because he don't got handles, he don't free throw shoot, it's not that
nothing. All he's doing is fucking
when you got that, like,
and the only thing that's making you the best is because can't nobody do nothing with you. Because it's like Shaq had his reputation. It's like if you really sat down and look at it, it's like he's a terrible shooter. He can't shoot a foul.
At all. Period.
But he didn't have to.
Nope.
All he had to do was make sure nobody else did.
That's it.
Who was running through him? Nobody.
That's why LeBron is where LeBron is. Really.
And even if you look at Shaq, and how you were touching on Bronny
Yeah,
and what you just said about LeBron, what you said about Steph Curry now,
yeah.
everybody found their niche.
They found a
You know what I'm
niche.
saying? Even with Shaq, if he talked about his conversations with his stepdad,
Oh,
that's his niche, ferocious.
yeah,
He get on the phone, he getting cussed out after the game. He had a great game.
yeah.
He's still getting cussed out. So he, you know, he didn't work out in the summer. I think it would have helped his career,
Yeah.
but he still got that motivation.
Yep.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
got them championships.
Yeah, so I think that one thing, you know, LeBron, if you watching this podcast,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to find Bronny's, you know,
Yeah.
what his
You gotta
area,
find his niche.
his niche.
Everybody said niche is jump. He can jump through the but
I mean, but that could be,
everybody can jump.
everybody can't jump, everybody cannot
Yeah,
jump.
that's true.
But even still, it's like, he, like I said, he's young, his time to develop. Like, he has so much time to find his thing. And if jumping is his thing, he might be Michael Jordan. Now, he might be over 4 or 5 people. Ain't too many that can do that. Actually,
Yeah.
nobody will but Jordan.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, so that might be the thing that can get him smooth across. No,
Yeah.
but whatever it is, if he fine tunes it, I think he would be fine, hopefully. But I mean, even if not, he made history just
That's what I'm saying.
leaving alone.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro. But I mean personally, I think Bryce is the one. When Bryce get in the league, it's over.
See, I don't follow any of them.
Yeah.
So I don't have like too much. I don't know. I don't watch college basketball or high school basketball. I watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know what anybody else. I'll see you when you get play time with you.
Yeah.
But I just think that like anybody else, I think what does work in Bronny's favor is, like I said, he has a parent who lives this life.
He lives.
So he has been getting guidance his entire life, most likely.
Yeah.
He has been getting, like I think I've seen a video maybe like last weekend or this weekend of like, it's not like an old video because he was younger, but
Yeah.
like LeBron had like a basketball hoop, but it was like a small one.
Mhm.
And not like one of
Right.
those little tight ones that we got for our kids. He got like a whole legit steel basketball, but it was like height specific for the little kids. And his son like dunked him. He's like, oh, that's not cool, you know, da, da, da. But it's like,
Yep.
this is a kid who he's been being trained
Yep.
and prepared his
Oh, you see.
whole life,
You see it all.
right? And if it's something that he loves, right? Because he's choosing this.
Yes.
So if he chose to get into it, and now you have a parent who's like, listen, work. But not only you sit, you have a parent who's saying work, you are actively seeing that parent work,
And you get to work out.
right? You get to work with the parent. You know what I mean? Like I seen a video. I think there's so much to that, right? Like I seen a video. It wasn't supposed to be like a dad that works out, just like it's like a dad who I don't know, I don't know what he does in his life, but it was the video. But the video was more about the kid. It was like a toddler who had a little fake, like little, dumbbells. But then it showed like the progression as the kid got older. It showed the progression of like this child
Mhm.
going from like the fake ones to like real 5-pound ones to 10-pound ones. So as they grew, they were, but they were doing it with it started with like seeing my dad do this, and it's like, hey, I could do that. Kids lay down next to you and they trying to do the push-up, we trying to push up.
Right.
So Dad was like, oh, he likes this. Let me get him some little tight little dips, obviously can't hurt kids. And then as he got older and he got stronger, he was able to use the real one. And they're working out together. It's like that thing that you not only you're being told, but you get to see and you get to be a part of. So you should eat healthy is what the world says. But if your life wasn't built in eating healthy, right? Like the world just telling you that, but your patterns, what you were fed from home was like, eat these greens and this fried chicken and these, butter-filled things. It's like, so you want me to give up my good, wholesome turkey dinner, right?
Right.
You want me to not have greens because you want me to boil
Eggs.
like stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like that. Like, so what you guys are saying about this young man is just like he has that. He has that built into his life. And then he gets it probably from his mom and his dad, because his mom has been there the whole time supporting his dad. So can give him that same encouragement, that same support. But now you're giving it to with the nurturingness of a mother, not a wife, not a girlfriend, but as your mom, I know what you need. I know what is going to fuel you. I know what's going to break you down.
Yeah.
I know what's going to make you dig harder, right? And I can give it service to you mostly like a more loving, caring way that makes you feel empowered. And then you have a dad, and now I'm walking into an empowered who's like, all right, you ready to work? Let's put that to work. You know, and then you have uncles and play aunts or whatever that are all a part of the same community.
That's it.
And that's it. That's that financial empowerment. Like the resources that people have, they, like you said, the favor is just the favor, right? It ain't fair because somebody has resources that the next person. But they said the same thing about LeBron, right? Like the whole conversation about LeBron even coming into the NBA, the group of friends that he played with, there was like, you know, a whole big thing about like how there was several of them that was way better than him.
I went to school with him, so I know.
But
Yeah.
it was him that was the, you know, the golden kid for real.
Yeah.
But realistically, like I watched some of there was people that, like, you know, that average better, you know what I mean, or whatever. You look at Giannis and his brothers. He actually wasn't the best one.
Yeah.
He only got there by chance.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? But it's like how it works. And then it's like, so how do you then use that favor? So in LeBron's case, he used that favor to then cast favor on his kid. Is there something wrong with that?
Nope.
As a parent, no.
Nope.
But could there, like you said, be something wrong with it on the other side? Because if it doesn't pan out, then it's like, dang, I could have left my kids and grow. Did I push him into this too soon?
Like,
Did I give him full hope that he was ready when he wasn't? So there's different elements, right?
Because from what my understanding is, Bronny made that decision, not Bron.
Yeah, but as a parent though, right? Because it might be your decision, but as a parent who lives this life, I'm not gonna tell you, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Listen, you're good, but you still need some work. We're not there yet. We will get there, but today is not your day.
it's almost like, man, you gotta choose like the lesser of two evils. Like, because your dad is one of the best basketball players on the planet, you're gonna get scrutinized anyway.
Absolutely.
So it's either he was weak, he never hooped, or he just wasn't into it. Like one of Deion Sanders' sons, I think they call him Bucky. I don't remember having him on the football field. You know,
Yeah, Bucky's the rap.
So you know what I'm saying? So you know, your kid is not necessarily gonna go in the same direction. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Like
So
Andy out here.
Yeah. So
Some veneers.
yeah, man.
Terrorizing folks.
Man, so you know, you gotta pick the lesser of two evils. Like, okay, so if they're gonna be worried about what he do I work with him to kind of guide? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure Bronny has some type of say so. They said that's why he changed his name. You know what I'm saying? Because he want to be his own person. When I think about my own son, I never ever in life, when he was born, we were going through the whole Kaepernick thing. I wasn't even watching football. You know what I'm saying? This dude came up to me at like 3 or 4. I don't know where he got it from. It was like, I want to play football. And I'm like, man, whatever. He said it again. So I said, I got 6 little girls, including my girls. Set up an offensive line. It was like, this is the 1 hole, this is the 2 hole. When you get there, if she try to come tackle you, this is what I need you to do. Bounce it out. If she go out that way, cut in this way. This little dude was like 3 or 4 years old and did it flawlessly. So he get a little older, we go through a pandemic. Nobody playing football. We play catch, we play basketball, all kind of stuff. We come out of the pandemic, he's been talking football ever since. I coached him the last 2 years in flag, and he has a natural gift. Now he's at equipment, he's itching. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying all that to say he has to say so. I'm secure enough within myself not to have to live my dreams through him.
Right.
And I never was like, I told him my brother had his sons first, and I took the same medicine I told my brother. Let them love it first before you hop in. Now that you love it, we all in. Let's go. I got you on whatever you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So I know, especially with that father and son relationship, and not taking nothing from mom, but it's almost like to have a son is definitely always a gift. But there's a real small something with it because they look at you like a superhero so much. And they hang on every single word and think you like perfect and dad don't make no mistakes and everything that he talking. My son just be, I could tell him anything it seemed like, and he be like, for real? Like, you can jump off the roof right now, Dad? He gonna jump. You know what I'm saying? That's your responsibility as a parent, though, like you were saying earlier, as a parent to give them that grounding and that take the reality, like, or that checking. Like I do my son, like, nah, you was trash today, bro. You was trash today. I'm not going to go and you was trash. I ain't trying to be funny. Oh, they ain't working as hard as me. No, they work harder than you. So you right, but you wrong. You know what I'm saying? So
I think Ronnie looked up to his dad like that. I think that's how that
yeah.
like, even with his younger brother, I think they just all looked at him as a hero. They're just like, even though Ronnie's favorite player is Russell Westbrook, that's his favorite player. He'll tell you that. He's like, Russell Westbrook is my favorite player. And it's funny because Russell Westbrook lived right next door to him, so he stayed right. So when we saying the things we don't see, he could be working out with Westbrook all the time. We don't know because that's not on camera, but we don't know. So I'm rooting for him.
So I wonder, you know, as we wrap up, how we can we kind of close out, because we was talking about economic empowerment. We didn't even get to anything that you brought up, but talking about economic power, right? I think we talked about like advantages, disadvantages, whatever the case may be. How can we relate this conversation that we have right now to our culture? I guess that's the culture we can speak on because that's where we come from. How do we relate that to our culture, having some advantages, not having some advantages, and how do y'all think we begin to make ground and catch up with where other people in the world are?
I don't know that there is a catch up, right?
That
sounds so terrible when you have to say it out loud.
Mhm.
But I don't know that there is a catch up, because for you to catch up means that you got to work triple time to catch up. Because they're not gonna slow down.
That's what I'm about to say.
Like, I don't know that there is like a realistic catch up. I think that's a part of the problem. As a culture, we need to stop trying to catch up. Like, I think Tyler Perry said it best, where it was just like, I was never fighting for a seat at nobody's table. I was making my own table.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's more so the key is like, the reality is we're never going to catch up for 300 years of a that's impossible, right? And then we're never going to, like change or force the masses, right? And the masses being people who don't look like us, to conform to what we need them to, or what we want them to, right? We might get this much, but we're never going to get the whole shebang that we need. So it's like, so are we going to continue as a culture to try to force our way in a table that we're not welcome at for real, and you may get there and still not have a voice? Or do you just start making your own table and making that table the best, right? And have that be beneficial to more people that can come to the table and help them build their table. So I don't know that there's like a way to catch up. But I do also think that there is a lot of things that there's a lot of things in our culture that hinders us from that success, from even being able to push forward, whether it's economic issues, so socioeconomic issues, whether it's, like you said, having a conversation about finance, about credit. Like, so many people that you come across have like no concept of credit, don't even have credit cards, don't have, whatever, or they just terrorized with credit at 18, and now they just said F it and they go on, and live a life of it. So there's that. And then there's the piece of like education that comes into play. Like, how many Black people are educated with a, any type of degree, associate's, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, right? But then you take those people, because that pool of people isn't like overly huge compared to the amount of, our culture that don't have it. But now you have these people, and then it's like, so you have this degree. What you doing with it? How is it working for you? Is it working for you, right? So it's like those pieces of it. Like, yeah, you can have your doctorate degree, but you're still making $15 an hour. So now you're making $15 and owe somebody a whole lot of money. Because you went and got this degree. And that's not discouraging anybody from getting their doctorate degree. You should absolutely, if that's what you aspire to do. But where does the tide kind of change for the culture if we're always starting 10 steps behind society, right? And we watch, like, I always say it's so amazing how you will see like an Asian community or just a non-American community. It doesn't even have to be Asian or, Afghanistan, just a non-American community. Like, the way that they live their lives is so different than what we know how to live our life, right? You will see a immigrant come over here with, I don't say nothing, because they have something, but they come over here, but they'll come and then will bring 15 of their family members one by one.
Next thing.
And all 15 of them living in one little one-bedroom apartment.
Yep, same
And
part.
all them people are going to put their resources together. And then they're going to go buy this store.
Yep,
And then they're going to stock this store. And they're going to split this money between these 15 people.
yep,
And then that allows these 15 people to go branch out and do 15 more things, right?
And now
They
we're
work as
taking
a
over.
collective.
Yep.
And then what I've also kind of learned over my years is like these communities, like we'll say like a Jewish community or, whatever. We'll go and buy stuff from them, right? Because there's a corner store, there's the whatever. We'll go and buy their stuff. But how many times do you see them in your stores? You don't, right? Because they spend their money with them.
yep.
I'm not going to create philosophy, but they feed back into their own community.
Every time.
Our culture feeds into everybody's community but ours. We'll go to the man over here. We'll go to the Asian lady for our hair. We'll go to the Asian lady for our nails. But the black store that's right next to those stores, you ain't trying to go there.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there. It costs too much. Or they trying to get me. Or they do. And sometimes
A lot of the times the quality, we don't want to put the effort in to make the quality look right, so we like forget it.
yeah,
We always have
sometimes it be the business. It is, and that's why we
Yeah.
have to ask
we
somebody
have that.
a long time ago. Like, do you support a business because it's black, or do you support I don't support a business because
Yeah.
I don't support a business that's good, and it's just a bonus that they are black.
Yep, that's it.
Just because you're black does not mean you
Yep.
get me to come. You might get me to look at it like, okay, what you got going on over
Yeah,
there?
yeah, that's it.
But that doesn't mean that I'm going to necessarily. I support good business,
That's it.
and it's great that this good business happens to be black. But you're not just going to get me because you look like me, because you can still do bad business.
I think I would give us a chance because we are black and I hear about it and it's a business that I'm interested in. Like, I'm not gonna go to a black flower shop because I don't always buy flowers.
Right.
But if it's Valentine's Day or something, I might hit them up. You know what I'm saying? And if it's good business, whether it's the flower shop, restaurant, or whatever, I'll keep going. Bad business, I don't care what you look like. If it's bad business,
Bad
I
business.
ain't going back.
Exactly.
But I think to the economic point, I think there's a catch up, but unfortunately, I don't think none of us see it. You know what I'm saying? I think our future generations do. Down the line, they see that catch up, but it all has to do with the work that we're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And for me, as a young business owner, I'm not only trying to get my kids on. Our whole philosophy behind the barbershop is to give information, check mental health, and get other
Everybody
kids on.
on.
Get everybody on. I think if we do, even as adults and business owners and black people, like you were saying, spend money with each other, build businesses, learn how to collaborate, stop hating,
Yeah.
work together. There's no reason if there's 40, 50 black barbershops in Pittsburgh, it's enough here. It's 1 million
A lot
people
of
here.
But
We can,
yet they'll try to.
Yes, it's a lot of- yeah.
Everything is that's what I'm saying. I don't understand that logic. And maybe it happens in other cultures. I mean, in other cultures, I don't know what they do.
yeah,
But in this culture, there's a lot of stepping on
yeah,
instead of like trying to help people climb.
Yeah.
There's people, like, I'm a photographer, my boyfriend's a photographer. We talk to, the ones that we can talk to, right? But like, there's stuff that might come my way that either I'm unavailable to do or I'm not interested in doing. I don't just like, oh, I can't help you. Hold on, let me hit up this person. Hey, there's this person. I'm gonna send your information to this person. Maybe they could do something. You know what I mean? And we talk, like, we have a group that we hop in. Hey, how's everything? Like, I'm a check-in type of person. So I check in. Hey, how's everything going? How's business? What struggles are you having? Not necessarily saying that I can help you because I might be can't, but let's talk about it.
yeah.
Let's talk about our experiences as Black men and women in this space
Mhm.
Right.
that we're trying, because being a Black photographer is a project in itself.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're trying to break into, predominantly white worlds. So, or, whatever, where it's like you're trying to get into weddings, or you want to be the person at times filled, with it. And it's like, how do you get there? And that's a lot of the conversation that's missing. I feel like there's so many people in our culture that have talent, have ability, what they're missing is the
Mhm.
how do I get to this thing? How do I as a barber start my own barbershop, right? And then the component that comes to that is the faith in it, right? Because like I watched this man from the inception to the creation to the, whatever, like I've seen it happen step by step, right? And I applaud it, always about like, yo, you doing this thing, or whatever. But it's like realistically, I watched him also like carry on a regular job while he's, trying to double that out. So he's cutting here and he has a regular job and he still has a family at home to be present for and be a part of and, still has obligations. So he can't just jump off the ship because he still has obligations that he has to attend to, but he's also trying to start this thing. So at some point he has to ship. You know what I mean? So it's like, there are so many people who feel like they don't have that ability. There's no space for them to jump ship. Right? So like here I am as a young Black man who wants to start my own barbershop or whatever. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know how to get a loan. If I need a loan, I even have the things that it takes to get a loan. I don't know how to start an LLC or get an EIN number. Like these are things that people don't know, right? And then realistically, sometimes you go to people and you're like, hey, how do I? And they're like, go ask somebody else. I don't know, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Instead, like, I'm not going to help you take business from me.
Yeah.
But I can't take business that's yours.
Right.
It's not possible. Like if it's business that's yours, I can't take it. All I can do is create a lane for me and hope that people come to what I'm doing. But that's the mentality in our culture. It's like I can only be the person at the table. It's like, but the table's big enough for multiple people. Why do I have to only be you?
Yeah.
So I don't see that work together. There are some. There are pockets of people that you'll see that's like, trapped in the light of like circles. There's a circle that I'm in. It's me and a couple of my female friends. But like all of us are homeowners. Two of them are married. We all have children. Like, we all have these things. We all have, I think everybody in the group has some kind of business. You know what I mean? So we talk about, and even though our businesses are different, we talk about these things and how we talk about like being a homeowner and or like, hey, do y'all know anybody who can do plumbing, or any like places to get grants for home improvement? Like so we had these conversations. Somebody might have a resource in the group, and maybe if we don't have a resource, one of us or all of us may take that from our group and post it on our personal page or something, because maybe someone in my line of people may have a resource or an answer. But we're all in it and supporting each other and trying to build each other up the best we can, right? A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have somebody who's like, let me try to help you get to the next step, or let me give you resources. They're just like, nah, I'm up here. I'm the barber. I'm the barber of Pittsburgh. That's the end. Can't nobody touch this. I ain't about to give you I'm not about to send you no clients. I'm not about to give you no information. I'm not about to tell you how to get your licenses or your zoning stuff, or no, I'm not. But you have the answer. You know who to talk to.
Yeah.
You know who I need to go to get the permit to build or to get the plumbing done or whatever. You have them. I know you do, because you have this standing, functioning business, but you don't want to tell them. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think the answer to that, all of it is back to what we were saying before, like the main source. Like, if we gonna skip the line, God is the only one that's gonna get us to skip the line. He the only one that's gonna show the favor. He the only one gonna do that. If we ain't even, seeking the kingdom, or if we ain't even keeping him involved in the questions and the comments that we got going on, because we trying to do other things on our own, like I said, our own flesh and blood, trying to get it. We gonna look at this circle and be like, yeah, it ain't never happened. So, but when we look at that, the only way to be God is the only way that this will make it to what you just said it was supposed to go. So other than that, us as men and women, we ain't gonna do it. We can't, because we just stuck. Like you said, we know you got sources, and you ain't gonna give them to me. I'm like, all right, God, you seen I try to do whatever. I'm gonna keep doing my thing, but I need you to go ahead and send the right people to me so I can do whatever. Because I just try to do it by myself, and that dude wasn't trying to help it, or she wasn't trying to do it. So I'm like, all right, God, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. I'm gonna keep reaching out, but you're gonna have to soften somebody's heart, because I'm not gonna stop doing it. I know I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So when we create our own lanes, like you said, like that's what I do with music, and they be like, man, what you doing in the music? You trying to get in the industry? I'm like, no, man, I'm trying to create a new one. I ain't got that to do. I don't want nothing to do with what they doing over there. But that's just crazy. You got the Diddy's, you got all the, you got all this is a lot going on. I'm just like, I don't even want to be part of that. So I'm like, no, I'm cool. I just create a new one. And we'll just have people coming to my table, like you said. We just come to my table. Wherever success comes with that, comes with that. If it catapults us past it or catching up to whatever, so be it. If not, we doing what we supposed to be doing. But maybe we not even supposed to be over. Maybe we supposed to be doing something totally different. You know what I mean?
So I think I'll wrap it up like this for what's this, episode 7. Like we were saying in the beginning, you know, we got to get some power somehow. We talked about favor, you know, we talked about spirituality, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. We also said, you know, faith without work is dead. So we got to be hopeful that things could happen, put in the work. You know, we'll see where it goes. But this has been episode 7, Tough Skin Podcast.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
No, we made it. I know yours paused a couple
Just
times.
barely made it.
All right, no, I think you gotta hit share then put the title on it, I think, on yours.